Welcome to The Bold Book of the Day with Dr. Denise Nicholson, a show that is a central hub and safe space for authors to share their stories. The Bold Book with Dr. Denise begins now.
Hello, my name is Dr. Denise Nicholson, and this podcast is for anyone looking for inspiration. Today, I have the beautiful and brilliant Tawa Alawoe, the author of Rising from Ashes to Glory. Welcome, Tawa.
Hi, Miss Dr. Denise. How are you?
I'm so excited to have you. Welcome.
Welcome too. I'm so excited too.
You have been writing this book for a while, and I know that you struggled with just sharing your story. And I love that you finally made it here because a lot of people, they don't realize that you are going to struggle with how you share your story, how the message is
Mhm.
received. Are you offending anyone? Are you offending any organization? Like, it
Yeah.
is so much when you start to write, but it's so wonderful to have a place like the Writing Incubator where you can come and share your story and get clarification on how to share it and what to say so that you don't feel like you're oppressing yourself. You feel empowered. Tell us, why did you write your story?
Thank you for that question. So the reason I wrote this story because my whole entire life is about perseverance, self belief. But when people see me, they just don't know what I've been through until I
Mhm.
get there. So for the last, so my book is about my whole entire life from childhood to where I am and where I'm going.
Mhm.
So the way I started, it kind of started during COVID. So COVID gave me a purpose. When some people say, "Oh, COVID was something that didn't beneficial for me." So during COVID, I started writing because I was so bored, working from home, 8 to 5, and I don't have nothing to do. So during that COVID time, my mind shift a different level. So I
Mhm.
was like, what I'm gonna do? I'm getting like you are just being at home for 24 hours, you've been like crazy in your mind. So I started writing one, two, third, and I wrote first chapter in COVID, but I just didn't know how to share with anyone. And then what happened? Something This is something when you sow a seed, God provide. That's what happened to me. So 2021, guess what happened? The job I was doing during COVID, they got me fired. So I
Mm.
got fired from that job and I didn't have income, but I was juggling with my saving. And then I went to part time with this retail store called Marshall. That's when I met Beth, Mary Beth. So when I say this, I get goosebumps. I'm still getting goosebumps because, like, that conversation me and Beth has, it was like 10-minute conversation. It turned my whole perspective around. And she was like, I think you have a story on you need to share. I was like, this woman just read me. How she know that I'm writing something down? She said, I'm gonna give you someone who can help you to calm that story you are hiding inside of you. Kamala. And then that's when she gave me your number. And then Dr. Denny, like I say, every time I remember that time, 2021 was upside down for me. That's where I am. And then I joined the writing incubator. 2022, I have another shift that it was my health. I couldn't able to write everything down. And then last year I decided I'm gonna just settle down and like put my story out there because people don't know how I grew up. I grew up among 22 siblings in
Mm.
Ogolome, and my life was filled of challenge. I was facing the chaos of polygamous. I was battling deep emotional struggle to find my place in the world. And then I just emerged going through all that. First, I lost my father. Second, I went to this deep coma that put me paralyzed for 3 months. And people just don't know how I emerged so strong, confident, and resilient woman. So that's
Hmm.
why I want to put it out there. So my book is about my past. It's a testimony
Yes.
to the power of faith. Like you have to persevere in life. You have to believe in yourself. So I
Yeah.
just want to share that journey from my childhood, moving to America and going through a lot. I
You know,
cannot even imagine.
yeah, Rising from Ashes to Glory is such a powerful title. And hearing you speak of your journey, I can understand because I know you, some of what you went through. But can you share with us what it means to you to rise from ashes to glory and how you put all of that story and encapsulate it in this journey?
So pretty much rising from ashes to glory is based on one verse in the Bible that I love so much. I can read it to you guys. I have my Bible here.
Go ahead.
So it's in Isaiah 61, verse
Mm-hmm.
1 to 2.
Isaiah
So they
61,
say,
verse 1 to 2.
yeah, the Spirit of the Lord God is upon me because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings to the poor. He has sent me to heal the broken heart, to proclaim liberty to the captive, and the opening to the prison to those who are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our God, to confront those who mourn, to console those who mourn in Zion, to give them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise of this for the spirit of heaviness, and that may call tree of righteousness, the planting the Lord that he may be glorified. So all that verse, when I read it, is one of my favorite verse. I see my life there, beautiful ashes.
Hmm.
Every pen, every single pen I went to, coming from polygamous family, dealing with anxiety, depression when I lost my dad, when he was the only breadwinner. And then suddenly, when I graduated from high school, on my way to college, when I was thinking, okay, I'm going to college, my father will help me. He died in suddenly, and no one knows. Those are just the ashes keep accumulate.
Mm-hmm. You said your father died suddenly?
Yeah, suddenly,
Mm-hmm.
like after I graduated from high school on my way to college in Africa, Lome, Togo.
Mm-hmm.
So he died of heart attack. We didn't know, but he was the only winner. And for
Mm-hmm.
me to go back to college, I couldn't because he was the only one providing us. And then
Right.
shortly after my dad died, I got really, really sick, and they didn't know even until now. I the doctor telling me I don't know what's the cause of my illness, and that illness put me into 3 month. Seriously, Dr. Denise, I was paralyzed. I'm not
Mm.
able. Right now, even when I limp a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
I was really paralyzed in bed for 3 months. I couldn't
Mm.
feel my two leg.
And no one knew at the time what
No.
was happening.
No, no one knew. And then I started losing my finger. So that's what it is. I started losing my finger. So the doctor has to cut it so it doesn't go all the way to my body. So pretty
Mm-hmm.
much my body was covered with scar. They were treating that. All I hear, it was just a noise on my bed. I can hear people talking, but I couldn't really understand what it's like. I was in another world in my bed. And then after 3 months I start talking. My mother, I told her one day, I said, I think I want to get up this bed. And she said, no, you can't because you can't even walk.
Mm.
So I put my feet one day. It was just like, how they say Jesus rose for the Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how I felt. My story was like I was paralyzed for 3 months. For Jesus is 3 days, and he rose up. You know, and that after that 3 months, I told my mom, I want to rose up. I want to put my feet on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, in those wall of that private house, that's how I find faith growing on inside of me. I
Mm-hmm.
find strength. So I started working. I was working. I told my mom, just hold me. I'm gonna walk around the wall of the hospital.
But you got up that day when you told your
I
mom you want to
I
touch your feet on the
Yeah,
ground.
yes. I got up
Wow.
that day. That day,
Wow.
that was even the nurse came. They say, how is she starting working? Because
Mm.
I told my mom, I say, this is the day. If I don't work today, if I don't get up this bed to start
Mm-hmm.
putting my feet on the ground, I will not be able, I'm gonna become a burden for you guys, and which I never want to become a burden for because I'm such
Right.
an independent
And you're so
young.
young.
Yeah, I was so young. I was on my 20, you know. Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my 40 and people even don't believe that. But that time I was so young. So I told my mom, I don't want to depend on you guys because if I don't get up, bathing, feeding, that's what you guys gonna do to me.
Guess what they're gonna have to do? Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't want to become a burden for them. And then I get up. That's when the doctor was like, how she get up? They just so shocked. And then they say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we're gonna let you go home, but you're still gonna go to a lot of physical therapy.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got up and I went home, I started feeling pity for myself. I started
Mm.
develop a thought of suicide. You know, I want to really hurt myself,
Mm.
Dr. Dennis. And it was not one time, it was multiple time.
Mm.
So my mom realized, my sibling realized that this girl, she's gonna just poison
Did you
herself.
tell them? Did you tell them, or they just were watching you and seeing that something is not right with this girl?
Yeah, they just know something is not right with
Mm,
this girl.
mm. You know, a
She's
lot of people suffer through suicidal ideations and just thinking that they want to end it. But you are in such a position, such a traumatic era of your life. You've experienced significant challenges from a young age, from childhood trauma, even escaping war. So a lot
yeah.
was going through your mind, a lot was going on in your family. How did these early experiences shape your resilience and your faith?
So pretty much I just choose to not give up on myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I told God, and even in that house, I told God there was one verse I love, Romans 8:28. You know, God working together for those who love Him.
All things work together for those that love the
Yes,
Lord. Mm-hmm.
you know, that was the verse I was standing, even I put on my book there because I didn't have a choice, Dr. Denise, because
Mm-hmm.
I grew up Muslim. I didn't understand the Muslim religion. I didn't really know how to really put my faith, how to expect miracle from Muslim religion. But
Right.
I didn't even tell my dad that I transitioned from Muslim to Christian before even
Mm-hmm.
he died. He died without even knowing because I saw him how he treat my sibling when they confess their faith to Christianity. So I
Mm-hmm.
was hiding a lot of things from my dad. So Christianity is not just the Christianity, knowing Jesus shaped my whole entire life.
Oh,
Not to
wow.
give up, like just knowing Jesus, not just like going to church. I'm not talking about people just going. It doesn't mean you have a house and you have a garage. How you say, having a car in the garage doesn't make you a house owner. That's how they say, right?
Say it again.
They say something about owning a garage doesn't mean you a car owner. unless you have a car in
Oh,
the garage. So
okay, okay.
you know what
I
I
haven't
mean?
heard
Is
it. I haven't heard it, but
yeah,
I
it's
understand what
like
you're
people.
saying.
Yeah, people own something, but they don't really beneficial. I mean, like for me, transitioned from Muslim to Christianity, I
Mm-hmm.
was not just going to church. I was believing in the teaching of Jesus Christ. I was having a personal relationship with Him. And that's how I was able to be resilient, to be strong. You know, sometimes I cry to my bed. I just cry. I told God, I can't do this, you know. I'm just going through a lot. It's like when I pick up something, it's like you pick up something to do. And
Yeah.
it just turned to ashes. I never finished anything. That's how I felt in life. That's how
Mm.
I felt, but it wasn't the case because this is what turned around. When I was going through my PD, I came to America. I was able to become the first woman to graduate from American college in my family. And
Wow.
not only that, I was the only first daughter of my dad that was graduate from high school before I came to America.
You must be so proud.
I'm so proud. And then not only that, I'm become author, which is my childhood.
Yes.
My
Dream.
child, yeah, my childhood is coming alive. After so many years, I don't want to cry right now. So I'm having my eye teary now, but
Uh-huh.
it's a cry of joy. So
Mm-hmm.
for me to look at all that, not even going through, even I attempt suicidal, and I'm so glad that I'm not where I used to be,
Yes.
and
Whew. Look
and
at God.
I know I where I am. I don't have everything. I know my sister or my brother has, but I know there is something that God is working for me to
Mm-hmm.
break all the generation curses to
Yes.
in
Woo.
order to me to create generation wealth. So that's
Hallelujah.
why I'm still here. Now I understand why I never died in that hospital. Now I understand even come to America going to abusive relationship with all my exes.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give up.
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand everything. This whole week I was like, God, why I never even die in those car accidents? Because Denise,
Look at you
one time,
now. God had a plan for you. You
exactly.
graduated, you're educated, you're the first author in your family. You are brilliant, you are making waves, you are an inspiration, you are a leader. Come on, girl. God had some plans for
I
you, my
know.
sister. And growing up in a polygamous family with 22 siblings is not easy, and that must have come with its own unique challenges. But yet, look at you. What are the biggest lessons that you learned from that experience growing up in a polygamous family?
So the biggest lesson I learned is how we are really like having a big family. It just was warming for me. Having a lot of sister, even we don't get along. I miss that because coming to America, I don't have my sister or sibling. I just miss those. So I miss the gatheringness, gathering with my sister, my mom, my dad. I just miss that. And the lesson also, I believe that even my father, he wasn't there because my father has four wives, not like in one time. So
Mhm.
even he married so many wives, and some of them died, some of them was alive. But I felt like he want the best for us. So I learned that as a father, that he was a provider. Even his presence wasn't there, but he was a provider, protector. He was there for us financially, but I
Yes.
was missing a lot, a father figure in the home. That's what
Yes.
I was missing.
So
But I
that's
learned. Yeah,
that's one of the things that some people may not realize, that even though he was all that he could be, he still had so many wives that he couldn't be there all the time for all of the children.
no.
Mm-hmm.
No, he wasn't, but at that time, I learned that he gave us a love. He
Mm-hmm.
taught us to treat people the way you want to be treated. I
Mm-hmm.
learned that, you don't let a man, you let the man provide for you. You don't just become a provider for a man. You have to, a man has to live by example.
Yes, it's a give
So
and take in relationships.
yes, a give and take. So I was the favorite child of my dad. So when I graduated, he took me to restaurant. It was something I will never forget because that was one that relationship, that small time I was so even my sibling was, oh yeah, you are just the favorite child. You do everything. They will not tell you anything. Even you did something wrong, he won't punish you. He won't
Mm-hmm.
say anything because you are the favorite child. And I know that even for my mom's side, until now, my mom's still in Africa. She
Uh-huh.
still have that love for me. All my siblings still saying, "Oh yeah, she only listen to you. She only do what you tell her to do." I feel like Mr. Denise. It's not me. It's the I. I think like God put something on me from childhood,
Mm-hmm.
and even myself, I didn't know I'm naturally connect to people. I relate to people.
Do you feel like you're the chosen one in
Um,
your family? Ooh.
I might be the Joseph in my family. I don't know because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's a good question. That's so
Mm-hmm.
true. Because the other day I was listening to Joseph's story.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might be the Joseph in my family, but I might be because this is why I say I might be.
You feel like you're the chosen one,
Yes,
and everyone is going to look to you for the change, for the
yes,
legacy, for
yes,
to bring the family from one thing to another. As a matter of
yes.
fact, like everyone is saying how your mom listens to you, that's because they also look up to you as an influence, not only in their lives but in your parents' life, in your mom's life.
Exactly. I am the
Hmm.
choosing one because I I'm saying that on the recording line. I am the choosing one of my family. I have to really accept that because I am the only one he's not married who doesn't have
Hmm.
a child. All my sibling has a child. I'm the
Hmm.
only one that came to America, and even the struggle, I never give up.
Hmm.
And it's not like everything that my sibling have, I envy them
Yeah.
or I want them. But I feel like God is using me to break some generational curses.
Generational curses.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he's using me, but I haven't really. I think I start getting everything together now. That's why I'm still here because whatever I'm doing, all my siblings are not doing it. I'm always on the go. I
Hmm.
always do something. If I finish something, I want something else.
Hmm. Yes, you're super ambitious. You came to the United States with hope of living the American dream. How did that vision change once you got here?
Oh, that was something totally not in the movie. People think like coming to America is like that movie of Eddie Murphy.
Uh,
Yeah, it's so easy. Like after I got sick and I don't want to be at home, I just want to be here. But going through the process, it wasn't easy to get visa to come here. It was a lot of paperwork, require a lot of money and
Also physically
patience.
challenging too, because I
Yes,
know your story. I read the part where it was so physical.
yeah,
Guys, you got to get this book
I
because
know
you
it
not only
was.
you had the hardship of getting the paperwork together, but you were physically challenged because you had just come from the hospital going through rehab. Tell us a little bit about the physical challenge. Also, continue to tell us about the getting the paperwork, but I want you to also tell us a little bit about the physical challenges.
The physical challenge, when I got off the hospital, because my finger was cut, I was not able to write
Mm-hmm.
anymore. So I started to write again, because at the embassy they want you to have your signature. I can't even hold a pen. So I started having to hold a pen. Even my eyes, I believe these eyes, I think is my left eyes, it
Mm-hmm.
closed when I was at the hospital, closed. So my eyes starting open a little bit, my vision was blurry, and then physically I'm not able to hold stuff, to carry luggage or anything. So
Mm-hmm.
that time, even the whole process of getting a visa, it was third attempt one day, even against all. I was not supposed to leave the house. I didn't tell nobody. I took a motorcycle, go to embassy, because they kept denying me. And one day I told my mom, I think these people need something that we need to find out. And she said, no, let's just leave it alone. I said, no, because okay, this is what I didn't give up. One day I saw myself in my dream that I was leaving Africa with my luggage rolling at the airport. So
Mm-hmm.
that dream stick with me. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
I told my mom, I say I don't belong in Africa since I was sick. My dad died. I'm not belong here anymore. I want to go and get a better health for myself, better education, better myself in every area, physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, socially, and financially, that anyone didn't do. Because after our dad, that we just struggle. Now I'm the only one educated in the family, and I'm sitting here not doing anything. So I have to go to the embassy. Even our struggle to not to
Mm-hmm.
go to any transportation, the doctor recommend me not to go to any transportation because of my physical state. But I still go to the embassy, get the paperwork, and able to get my visa granted and come to America. Coming to America first, it was culture shock. It-
Mm-hmm.
I have to start all over, because I was learning English. Actually, I speak three languages. I speak French, Ewe, and English. Ewe is
Mm-hmm.
my native language. So
Yeah.
French is like something you go to school in Africa, you learn. And English is my third. So I was learning English in Africa as extra class, but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like English that people speak. I know how to read, I know how to write, I know
Mm-hmm.
how to speak, but grammatically, I
Mm-hmm.
have to learn everything from scratch. So I have to go to 6 month intensive English class. So even in my class, that's so funny. One day my teacher asked me, she asked me if I live in hot. So I asked her, yeah, we do not live in
Who
hot.
asked you that?
My
Which teacher?
my teacher, English teacher.
Wow. Back home in Togo?
No, in Africa.
And
No, in
where?
America.
In America. Wow.
Yeah, I
Wow.
was going to 6 month class. She asked me, I think she just wanted to talk to me. I don't know. So I just laughed. I was, yeah, I live in a really good house. You should come to my dad house and see how it was a really nice neighborhood. He lived, a
Yeah.
really rich neighborhood. But it was something I have to go through. So after 6 months, going to intensive classes to learn English, vocabulary, how to compose. So you can see my book. I tried to write in French. My thinking, I was thinking
It
in
took you a
French.
long time because you had
Yeah,
to
yeah.
think it, write it, and then write it in the English, translation so that your audience, your English speaking audience,
Yeah, yeah.
can get
So
it.
English
Yes.
can get it, but all that, it was a challenge for me. And then
Yes.
learning about the food. I didn't like any food here. And I was living in Colorado. The weather was so cold. When I get out, I had to lay up sweater, jacket. I lay up so much. It was a lot of challenge, but I went through that with the help of my sister.
That
And I
was your
just,
reality here. It's
yeah,
freezing.
reality. It was freezing because I never experienced winter back home. In Africa, Lome, we have like tropical, like Florida weather.
Hmm.
Very
Yes.
nice. We never have 50 or 60 degree. I don't remember. I don't recall the
Right,
last time
right.
we have like 60 degree in Africa, to be honest. I don't recall. So
Right.
those are the challenge. And then I have to learn how to drive. In spite of my ability not to hold stuff,
Uh-huh.
I was able to drive. I fell so many times,
Hmm.
but I was able to get my own car. I was able to drive because after 6 months getting off of that English, I want to get bachelor degree. So they
Hmm.
transferred me to 4 years degree, 4 years college. Oh no! First, let me recall. First, I transferred to just like it was just a school that teach you how to do computer.
Hmm.
Like I want to know how to do Microsoft, Excel, PowerPoint, because I didn't really learn those in Africa. So I
Hmm.
want to know about the whole Microsoft thing. So I
Yeah.
went to just to get a certificate for that. So that one I did it for 1 year. And after 1 year, I wasn't certified. I say
Hmm.
I want something else. So my mentor at school, she was like, if you want to better your education, you can go to 4 years. So they transferred me to 4 years college to
Hmm.
get business administration. First, I was major in international business, and then I was like, no, I don't want to do that. So, and then I transitioned to marketing. So marketing, so I finally graduated from college, business administration, marketing concentration. So
Hmm.
that's why I was like, okay, now I can market myself. I market
Yes. You can
marketing
use your
now.
degree.
Yes, because like to be honest, there's nothing wrong with 9 to 5 job.
Not
I
at all.
did that. I did that. Then this left, fire from job, lose a job, get laid off. I just get tired of it. After COVID, like I say, COVID just opened, just wake me up. I say, Tawa, you can't do this. If you're gonna live for the next 20 years, you have to do something that will be a residual income for you.
Yes.
It's not just one residual income, it's something that will be passive for you, that will come. Even you still have your 9 to 5 job, you still have this until you build up that income to replace your 9 to 5 income. You can be financial independent. That's
Hmm.
when I came with an idea. I'm not saying everybody had to be a writer, but it's something that stick to me since childhood. I used to write a poem when I was 12.
Hmm.
Like I would just write a poem. I'm very visual. I learned visual a lot.
Hmm.
I love art. So those things stick to me. I love to read. I love to be informed. Because what
It's
God
your
said,
dream coming true.
I know.
You had a desire from a young age to become an author, and
Yeah, it
now you've
just
written your book.
Yeah, I just say lack of knowledge, my people perish. A lot of people
Hmm.
lack of knowledge. They think, oh, I have the knowledge, I'm good with my life. They don't want to tap on their God-given gift.
Hmm.
They just want to live the way and for me, it's not me. I'm very ambitious. I know myself, I'm very
But
ambitious.
embracing a new purpose is not easy. You've embraced this new purpose and releasing this book and this memoir, but that is not always easy for people who have not even been exposed. Like you said, you met Mary Beth in the Marshalls, and she was like,
Yeah.
she heard your story and she was like, here is a number for someone can help you. Sometimes people have that dream, but they never get that next step, that resource that they needed.
Mm-mm.
And so, what advice would you have for someone that has a dream, but they just don't know what to do? Whether it's writing a book or not, it's just a dream in their heart, and they don't know what steps to take next. What advice do you have for them?
For the advice I have to, for me personally, like I would say, go for it, no matter, because what happened to me, I was afraid too. Sometimes that's the fear that keeping us not to put that step in the water. You might have that seed inside of you, but because you are so afraid of what people will say
Yes.
when you do that, there's one thing they say: if your dream doesn't scare you
Ooh,
enough, it's not a dream.
it's not
Your
big
dream,
enough.
no, it's not big enough, because your
Mm-hmm.
dream has to scare you so much that you cannot even sleep yourself when you go to bed. You have to
Mm-hmm.
be getting up. So I advise somebody out there: if you have a dream doesn't scare you enough, it's not big
Dream
enough.
bigger. Dream bigger. If your dream
Yeah.
doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. Okay? That's what
Yes.
Tawa is saying to you today.
Yeah, so I'm saying that people out there, you don't have to be a writer like me, but there is something inside of you. You might good at something, you're just using it to use it on your job to make that person rich. Instead of using that gift and make, because our gift, sometimes we can turn our gift and passion to become our purpose.
Mm-hmm. Tawa, you are so inspiring. You are one of 22 siblings, and you are making a difference in their lives. You are being an inspiration, an influence, and just a motivation for them to dream big. And for those who are listening, Tawa is saying to you, if your dreams ain't scaring you, honey,
No.
you ain't dreaming big enough.
No, you are not. No,
Your
no, because
story,
mm,
yeah, go ahead.
mm-mm. I was gonna say something. Purpose. When people, so this is how I say, I have something always that I think I will send you. They say, whatever you love,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you are great at it, and whatever you are paid for it, and whatever the world needs, all combined is your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you love is your passion and your mission. The world needed is your mission and vocation. Whatever you are paid for is also a combination of profession and vocation. And whatever you go good at it is passion and profession. All those circle in the middle is your purpose.
Mm.
I have to
Wow.
send you this. Yeah, this is something that I want everybody. It's just something I find on the internet. It just
Mm-hmm.
kind of opened my mind. I was like, wow, I just sent it to you. But I mean, like,
Share it with me, honey. Please do.
I mean, there's nothing to be afraid. Anyone out there can do what I do. There's nothing
Mhm.
to be. Fear is the
If you have the
definition.
right tools and the right help and the who can help me. A lot of times we have dreams and goals and we don't know what to do with them. But instead of
Exactly.
being flustered, just start thinking, who can help me realize this dream?
Exactly, exactly. And also one thing I want to say, do not fear, because
Mm-hmm.
fear is the false, is defined false evidence that
Mm-hmm.
appear in the real.
Mm-hmm.
FEAR.
Uh-huh.
False evidence
Evidence
that
appearing real.
So that's what a lot of people fear. They
Mm-hmm.
they don't believe on themselves, because you are God designed creation. God is living inside of you. So anything you put on your heart, you can do it, because when God created you, He put when God created Adam, the way I understand, God put Himself inside of his nose. That means God put His spirit inside of us. He's
Mm.
inside of us. Whatever God is doing, creating the whole earth in 7 days, we can
Mm-hmm.
also tap on that God given and create our own life without fearing anything. There's nothing to fear. Because you know what people will ask you is say, "Oh, what did you do?" That's where,
Mm,
like you will be like, "Okay, remember how I used to be silent? Remember
yes.
I used to not having drama in my life?
Uh-huh.
That's how I built my dream in
You're having
silence."
drama now?
No, I don't have drama. I'm drama free. I'm building in silence. And
Yes.
then people has to know that once you build in silence, you don't have to talk. Your success will make a noise for you.
Let me tell you, you're a new person. So let me tell you when I saw the shift in you. When you left this last quantum weekend,
Hmm.
something shifted in you. What
That's
happened? What happened at quantum weekend?
I just don't know. Like it was just like
You
I
left, you called me, you were like, Denise, I'm ready to publish this book and get it into the world. I was like, whoa, this is a different girl.
that's so yeah, you asking me that it was I was just sitting and I was looking at everybody's story,
Uh-huh.
but just
Uh-huh.
looking at everybody's story, especially the whole experience. The first, I wasn't not sure. I'm like, I wasn't
The
even
first
not sure
quantum
what I'm.
weekend.
Yes, I
Yes.
wasn't sure
You
what
were
I'm
worried
getting
about your
myself.
friend when
I
you came to the
know.
first quantum weekend. You were just so worried. You had a friend that came with you, but she didn't come to the event.
No,
You were spending so much time worried about the
I
friend.
know. I know. That's so funny. I guess why that friend is not even on my life at this moment.
But the second
Sometimes
time you came and you were
focus.
in it. You were focused. You took
Yes.
part. You were relieved. And when you left, something shifted in you. And you called and you were like, Denise, I'm ready to get this book out. I think you spoke to some of the people in the tribe and you were like, I'm ready. Even people were asking about you because I remember Kimberly was asking about you. But the
Yeah.
power of being in the room, because being not just being there, but being present, because you were there the first year, but the next year you were present. You came ready to play full out and the
Yes.
transformation happened. You are a new woman.
Yeah, and also the exercise we did, it helped me. The
Which
one that
one?
say, "Oh, let it go," when they say, "I'm sorry
Ah.
for
Oh, the I'm
that
sorry
exercise."
exercise.
Yeah, that really helped me because
Ah.
I felt like nobody ever really said that to me.
Woo.
I mean, like when they
Mm.
say I'm sorry, when people say, "Oh, I did something to you, I'm sorry," but they
Mm.
never really meant it.
Mm-hmm.
You felt like, why should I keep being nice to people if I'm not giving back?
Mm-hmm.
Why should I give love to people if I'm not getting back? But
Mm-hmm.
I realized on that exercise, it's not about people telling you that I hurt you. But you
Mm-hmm.
know what?
But
I told
hearing the
myself,
words "I'm sorry" meant something to you because you've never heard
exactly,
it from the people who hurt you. But there were
exactly,
people in the room willing to stand in the gap for those people, just for you, for your healing purposes, and say,
exactly.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what you've been through. And they listed a number of stuff. I saw people crying, people falling out. But that exercise was a really powerful exercise. And I'm glad to hear you say that it was one of the exercises that made a difference for you
Yeah,
because I
it
saw the
really.
shift.
Yeah, the shift also. I just told myself after that quant, I say, God, you know what? I still need a healing from
Mm-hmm.
my childhood, adultinghood, coming to America. I
Yes.
want you to heal me. I need the healing. He said
Yes.
he healed the broken heart and
Mm.
he give them beautiful ashes and oil of joy for mourning.
Mm-hmm.
So I let God to be part of my healing.
Yes.
I'm not a perfect person, but I know that I have flaw. I have to work on it. I make a mistake, but I don't dwell on my mistake.
Right.
I let them make me a better person in the
Yes.
future.
Yes.
Yeah, people will be like, "Oh, Tawa, you are a great person," and then I heard that a lot, and then I started asking myself, "Where is my flaw?" When everybody say, "Oh, you are a great person, you're such a good, strong woman, independent," but they just don't know behind the scene what that strength come from. That's why I want to put on the book.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming and sharing and being a part of the Bold Book of the Day. Your story is
Mhm.
amazing. And I really appreciate that you came ready to be open and transparent, because the audience is listening, and I'm sure they learned some things today. And I would love for you to share with the audience how they can keep up with you. How can they follow your become a part of your world and become a part of your tribe? Learn more about you.
Yeah, so once my book is published, I want to become more open in social media,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, um, my Facebook, and my YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, so I want to get involved in that, sharing my story in YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, there is no success overnight. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
I would
No,
say,
no
yeah,
success overnight. Okay.
yes, there's no success overnight. So one day at a time. That's all
Yes.
I can say. One day at a time. I know every day I kept working on myself. If I stumble, I get up, I'm working on myself so deep, every day to be
Mm-hmm.
someone. So if anyone want to know Tower, this is Tower.
Tawa,
I mean,
what there are three questions I love to ask each of my guests, and
mhm.
I can't wait to hear your response. What's one bold promise that you can share with the audience?
So I would say don't ever stop working on yourself the way I did. Don't stop working on yourself
Mm-hmm.
spiritually, have relationship, unique relationship with God, physically work out, get up and move your body.
Yes.
Emotionally, just don't let your emotion run or control you. Don't get angry. Don't go to bed angry. And
Mm-hmm.
mentally, fill your mind with positive thought. I want also socially surround as that, that's one thing, surround yourself with mind like people.
Like-minded people. Yes, Tawa.
Yes,
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 small
yes.
circle of people, instead of have 100 people following you, even you have one or two people who is your tribe. And then financially, I'm not talking about being rich by being wealthy.
Yeah,
Wealthy, it's not just like people think, oh, yeah, I have money in the bank. People have money in the bank, but they are not happy.
yeah.
So I really
But there are
promise.
happy people with money in the bank too.
I know, like, yeah, there is,
There's nothing
there,
wrong with having money and
mm,
being happy, but
yeah,
I
it's
hear
a
you.
balance. It's a
Yeah.
balance.
Mm-hmm.
You have to balance. I mean, like, promise to be empowerment, transformation, and be there. That's
Yes.
one bold promise for me.
Okay. Now, what is one bold statement that you can share that will cause a paradigm shift?
So I would say from the moment I start finding my purpose, I become free.
Mm-hmm.
So for the last 4 years, I told myself that I won't let anybody write my life anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be the pen that write my life story. Because people can give you advice, people can say, oh, Tower, do this, do this, it will be good for you. But for me to have that transformation, I have to be the driver of my
Mm-hmm.
destiny.
That's right. Be the driver of
Yeah.
your destiny. Yes.
Yeah. So every day I try to be exceptional woman. I'm not shy anymore. I'm very outspoken. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to keep doing that. That's why I'm gonna get more change in my life. I I'm not gonna just be in pity for myself and let everybody say, "Oh yeah, Tawa, yeah, do this," and then no, I'm not doing that anymore. I just want to be there for people and be that purpose they are looking for. That change, they can see that through me, not just through and say talking, action, you know.
Yes, yes. Action speaks louder than
Thank
words.
you. Yeah, actions
Mhm.
speak louder than word, you know.
Take it
And I'm
from the
very,
author herself who started to pen her words and now she has a book, honey.
yeah, and then like if you want to see any pattern for me, I want to share also this. You know, I'm very observant. Don't see like every difficulty. Just see that
Mm-hmm.
as opportunity. When you
Mm-hmm.
see problem, don't think like, oh yeah, this problem gonna
You are
uh
very optimistic, yes. But it took
yeah,
you some time to get there.
exactly. I work on
Yes.
myself.
So you work on
So
yourself.
always see opportunity on every difficulty.
Mm-hmm. Tawa, what's a bold move that you'd like to make in the future? You've done so much already. You against all odds defied everything that was around in you that was suppressing you, and made it to America, the land where you felt that you could realize your dreams in your heart. All you had to do was get to America and start to work on your dreams. And look at you, you've really done so much for yourself. But what else do you have in the future? And guys, you have no idea. I met Tawa a few years ago, and when I met Tawa, she had a little apartment. And I'm not putting her business out there. I'm just telling you. Now the girl live in a beautiful condominium, honey. Okay, and I've seen you transition and just designed a new life. You designed a whole new life. Tell us what is next for you. What's a bold move you'd like to make in the future?
So for me, I would say the world is not getting better. There is so much crisis in the world. People are just so scared these days. So in the middle of all this, this is where I want to be. I want people to see love through me, through Tower, love, faith, hope, strength, resilience, patience, compassion toward people, kindness, because the world need it. Because I want to be that change. Because this is one say I read it, Coco Chanel. They say beauty began the moment you decide to be yourself.
Oh, yes, Tawa. Thank you so much for sharing that and for being here and sharing about your book, Rising from Ashes to
Just
Glory. Please, please
this
come
is
back
I want
again.
to share. I don't have the book here, but
Yes, hold it up, hold it up, hold it up, hold it up. Yes,
yes.
it's beautiful. Oh my goodness, I can't wait
I know
for the audience to get
that's
it.
my favorite color right there. Like the
And I'm
face.
wearing it.
I know. Yeah, I
Beautiful.
want it. And one thing I want to end with the audience. Don't contribute to the cemetery grave wealth. Because
Mhm,
my moral say I heard it's my moral. He already died. But this is
mhm.
one thing stick to me. I
Oh,
need
my husband.
sometimes
Oh, yes. Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
I write it down. He said the wealthiest place on the planet is not the Far East where there is oil on the ground. It's not in the South Africa where there is diamond mine. The wealthiest place on the planet is a cemetery where you see potential never realized, where you
Hmm.
find book never reading, where you
Hmm.
find an idea never act on it.
Yes.
So this is my bold decision. I wanted my book not be part of the cemetery wealth. That's
Yes.
why I make a decision to put myself out there. So
Yes.
your gift is looking for you, people. Don't let your gift die within you and go to the grave. That's
Ooh,
my final thought.
thank you so much. So, if anyone out there has a dream of writing a book, don't let your book die in your heart. Don't contribute to the wealth
What
of the
cemetery?
cemetery. Give your book as a gift to the world, because 100 years from now, when you're no longer here, your book will be here, making a difference, changing lives, inspiring people, and giving them hope. Take it from Tawa. Put your book out there. Get your
Yes.
message out into the world. If you are
Yes.
interested, send me a message to author D Nicholson at gmail.com and let me know what is the most important message that you would like to share with the world. Thank you, Tawa. What do you want to say to the
Yes.
people before you go?
I would say build your legacy and let your
Yes.
footprint make impact on this love, on the world.
Yes.
Don't just no afraid not to build your legacy, because even you die, your legacy will make that speak louder for you.
Yes. Absolutely. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing your book out there
I
in the
can't wait.
world. All
I
right.
can't wait. I'm so excited. Thank
Me
you.
too. All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you for joining us for the Bold Book of the Day with Dr. Denise Nicholson, a central hub and a safe space for authors to share their stories. Follow Dr. Denise on Facebook and Instagram at Denise Nicholson, or go to denisenicholson.com. Remember, no one can share your story better than you.